How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Cities Skylines and welcome to Vanillaville. As you might be able to guess from the name of this soon-to-be city, this is going to be an unmodded series. There is nothing from the Steam Workshop. There is nothing in here that you can't get in Cities Skylines on PC with DLCs, of course. There's no mods. Nothing. No road anarchy, no key anarchy, no traffic manager, nothing. It's going to be interesting. I haven't done this in a little while. I've had this idea for a couple of weeks. I've been sitting on it. I know a bunch of other people are doing it as well. And I'm going to tell you the same thing that they told you as well. This is probably going to be the last city that I build in Cities Skylines before the sequel comes out. It might just be the last city that I build in Cities Skylines, depending on how the sequel turns out. So this could be a really special series. If you're curious about the other series that was running on the channel, the Nerdholm series, it's still going. I'm bringing it back. There's going to be an episode hopefully later this week. But for now, I want to jump into this. So let's get started the way I always get started. We're going to build some roads. We're going to build some roads. And if you've seen me play this before, you know where this is going. I'm going to be honest with you. You know what I'm probably going to do, but I'm going to start. Oh, wow. Okay. The game's already lagging a little bit. That's worrying. I'm going to start by trying to build something a little bit efficient here. So I do want some avenues. I'm going to use the 6-lane with the median because I can. And I don't know if this is going to work in vanilla cities or not, but we're going to give this a shot. I want to go to about here. And I want to see if I can connect these guys together. Do I have one way? I do. Can I do this and this? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Not bad at all. Doesn't the game have 3-lane one-way roads now? By default, it does, but I need a population of 1,200. Okay. That's going to be useful. That'll come in handy a little bit later on. For now, we'll just get rid of that. This is a way in. This is a way out. That's perfect. That's what we're looking for. And I suppose what we can do is go ahead and get rid of the one-way roads filter. And what we'll do is a little something here. Let's just do what we usually do in Cities Skylines. I hate to say it. It's gonna be, you know the word. You already know it. You can say it with me. It's gonna be a battery. It might, well, actually, is it gonna be a battery? Because I don't know if I want to get rid of all this right now. This is kind of cool. And if I do get rid of all of this, I can't really do anything with it later on. And for some reason, I'm looking at this already and thinking it would be really cool to build like a little national park here. It's not exactly a tourist trap. It's burnt out trucks and burnt out buildings, but it would be unique. So I think I'm going to try and hold on to that, actually. So let's go ahead. Let's get this road. And instead of getting rid of everything on the left there, let's turn this around. And then this is where the battery can start. So if you don't know what a battery is, there's a video on this channel, which is basically, the title is something like a super easy start in Cities Skylines. Actually, this battery is going to need to move a little bit. And what I call the super easy start in Cities Skylines is the battery. And it's called that because it acts as a battery. It acts as an easy way to start your city, get it off the ground, and give you the power, hence battery, to do other things later on. So that's what we're building here. It's just a square, so it looks like a battery. And that's kind of what this is. It's just a very, very boring way to start a city. And I apologize because I've done this a million times over, but it's fine. It works. I do it for a reason. I do it because it works. And every time I do, there'll be comments that are like, hey, buddy, have you tried anything else? I've seen you do this a million times. You absolutely have, and you'll probably see me do it in Cities Skylines too, because it has the road tools that let you do it. So we're doing this to get started. We can throw some zoning in here. We're gonna need power. We're gonna need water. But I do want to see, do I want to put industry on this side? We do have left-hand drive traffic, but I think industry like on this side will do for now. So we'll do a little bit of industry, do some residential, and then what I usually do is we'll throw commercial kind of in the middle to act as a buffer between the industry and the residential here on the left. So that's what we'll do here. We'll get that all going. We are going to need power, of course. We could do wind turbines. What is this? An advanced coal power plant. $960 per week, $35,000, pollution 10, noise pollution 10, power output 56. This guy's power output 40. It is cheaper though. A wind turbine wouldn't be terrible either. The power output's probably not going to be very good here because there's not a lot of wind. I could put it down there and get the full 8 megawatts of power, but honestly, I think we just go with a coal power plant. I think we keep it relatively simple. We adopt the principle of KISS, keep it simple, stupid, and I think we'll just do a coal power plant. I'm going to say, actually, I'm going to build some more roads, is what I'm going to do. I'm going to build more roads. I'm just going to build this little section here so that the coal power plant isn't polluting our commercial zones there. So we'll build a coal power plant right about there. We'll go ahead and fill that space with industry as well. And once things start building in here, which we can probably expedite a little bit by filling up that space, we'll have a power connection going across. We're also going to need pipes, of course, because people do, in fact, need water, and they do need their sewage to be whisked away. So we'll go ahead and just outline this entire space. We'll run some pipes right up the middle as well. And then for water, I mean, I think what we'll do is just run a bit of a pipe out there. In fact, let's just run it to... No, we'll run it out. No, not there. I'm misclicking. I've not played cities in a hot minute. I want to run it out to there, and I want to just move you to right about there. Now, you are going to need a power connection, so we are going to have to run this guy just like so. But that's all right. That gives you a power connection. That does give us water eventually, once these guys decide to build across, which they should. We should start to see, and we do start to see a little bit of commercial zoning popping up there, and we do now have a power connection, which is fantastic. The only issue is sewage. We have $23,000 at the minute. We have a choice. We have the water drain pipe, which is $320 per week, $2,500 up front, and it will, of course, as we know, it will dump our sewage into the water. Which I don't love the idea of doing because I think this map is it's kind of fantastic looking. I really, really love this map. I don't know that I want to throw sewage into the water at the moment, so I might invest a little bit more into one of these guys. It is 2,500. It's a water treatment plant. I think it's the way to go. I really do. I think a water treatment plant is the way to go. So we'll throw it there. We'll go ahead and connect it to the pipes, and that should deal with all of our sewage. The only issue is that this is going to leave ground pollution if and when we get rid of it, which we probably will because it's going to be a main sort of road down to the beach here. But that'll do for now. And there we go. All of the sewage problems are gone. All of the complaints about power are gone. So this place can go ahead and build a little bit. And I should know this after over 8 years of Cities Skylines, but I don't know it, what the first milestone is. Little hamlet, 380 people. Gives us taxes and loans and garbage and healthcare and education. All things that we're going to need to stay on top of, but we should get there momentarily. We don't have any residential demand, so as soon as someone wants to move in here, they are going to move into these spaces here, which is fantastic. So we should get up there quite nicely. We are seeing some industrial demand as well, so all of these spaces should fill up, and so we're going to be filling those jobs with the people that live here. Once those jobs are full, more people are going to want to live here. So it should be good. We're in a good spot. We're losing money, which I don't love. But once the taxes start coming through, we'll be completely fine. I can go ahead and crank those up to, I think 11%. I want to say 11%. I'm pretty sure that's sort of the sweet spot for City Skylines. So we'll see how that goes. We do have more people moving in. And honestly, I think what we'll do is we'll just immediately go ahead and expand this little block back here. And I hate to get rid of buildings already, but I'm going to just push straight through there with some roads, just to make the access that little bit easier. Gives us a little bit more room for growth as well. And we're already making money, so we shouldn't be heading towards a game over state, which is good because I've very rarely hit that. And I don't think people are actually all that aware that City Skylines does in fact have a game over state. It's something that's not a lot of us have seen. I feel like not a lot of people have ever seen the City Skylines game over state, but it does exist. It absolutely does. I hit it on a live stream once a couple of years ago, and I don't think I've ever been quite as embarrassed at losing at a video game as I have at losing City Skylines, because this was at like the peak. This was at City Skylines like peak popularity on YouTube and on Twitch. And so, you know, I like to think of myself as relatively seasoned when it comes to City Skylines. It was not a good time. I don't remember how I did it. I think it might have been a scenario, so that might have been part of the reason, but regardless, it was not a good time. Anyway, we are a little hamlet now. We have taxes, we have loans, we have garbage. Garbage is going to be the next thing that gets demanded of the people or by the people. So we're going to want to stay on top of that. And we did get a little bit of money from going ahead and leveling up the city there as well. So I'm going to run some pipes down there and get rid of those ones. And I think I could get rid of this one as well, just to keep things a little bit neater there. So that should keep us good. And I suppose while we're here, we'll go ahead and start looking at garbage. Now, we have the landfill site, $160 per week, $4,000 up front. It pollutes like crazy though. We do have the recycling center, which is $240 per week, $16,000 up front. Less pollution, bit of noise pollution. It can't necessarily process as much per week. I don't know. I really don't like using landfills. I'm gonna be honest. I try to avoid them as much as possible unless I'm using one intentionally for sort of aesthetic purposes. So I'm gonna go with the recycling center for now, just because I prefer it. And I'm also gonna go ahead and swap out that road to a 2-lane road with median, because that means that the trucks will have to come in here on this side and they'll have to come in from this side over here, which I think is gonna be a little bit better for traffic control. That's kind of what I'm looking for. That's why we have the median down here, so that vehicles coming out of these shops actually have to go down the road, sort of turn around, do all that business, and they can't just cross over 3 lanes of traffic to make a right-hand turn from General Star. So that's kind of what I'm going for. I used that road very, very deliberately. And I'm also wondering, wasn't it 1,600 people that we needed for the 3-lane road? Or 1,200 people. Okay, we'll get there in time. No rush. We have a little bit of demand for residential, quite a lot of demand for industrial. So let's go ahead and start dealing with a bit of that. We'll go ahead and just bring a road straight back here, straight down here, and straight down here. And one thing I am going to try and do is not build too much further over this way, because I do want to get, you know, nice access down to that beach, like I said. So we'll just go ahead and build out this space as well. And I think honestly, that's probably about as far as I'm going to go in this direction. I'm not really too interested in building this giant grid into something that's going to look like it's staying for a while. My goal is very much going to be to get rid of this and be in a position where we can get rid of this by probably the end of this first episode. That's kind of the ideal goal there. So, well, this road might stay. This 6-lane road might, it might stay. We'll probably replace this little intersection with an actual intersection, maybe a roundabout, but the grid as it stands is probably going to go away because it's just a little bit terrible, really. Just a wee bit terrible. Not a huge fan of it. That's kind of where I'm at. So we'll go ahead and get rid of you as well. And we have $17,000. So let's go ahead and expand this way. And I think that'll be all right. And what we'll do is just build this out. That is not the way that goes. Build this out. How many units? That is 30. So it's 31. We'll continue these guys down here. And we'll just fill that space with a bit of commercial because we do have demand for it. So commercial here. And I guess we'll expand the commercial up to here as well. We'll fill all of this space with residential. And then, of course, we're going to need some pipes. So we'll go ahead and just lay some pipe underneath the roads like so. This bit will eventually go away, but that should deal with the massive amount of residential demand that we have, which is hopefully going to push us a bit closer to that total of 1,200 people that we're looking for, which is going to let me, oh, not bad. We just got our first new area, 2 by 2 kilometers. Not bad. We got districts, we got policies, more loans, specializations. We did get emergency services, which admittedly is going to be something else that people are demanding. So they're going to be wanting to get their hands on a firehouse or some kind of fire station. So we'll definitely be needing that. That's something I know City Skylines well enough to know that the second you unlock the firehouse is the second things start catching fire. So what we'll do with this is, I think I'm going to put it sort of, I don't love the idea of putting it on the main road, but I think I'm going to put it on the main road, just right about there, so that the fire trucks can head out and start doing their thing immediately. That way things aren't going to be burning down. We also have a crazy amount of residential demand still going, despite the fact that this space is filling up pretty quickly. So that's the thing we'll need to deal with. But before we do, I would like, that was almost a segue to a sponsor. There's no sponsor of this video, but that would have been the perfect place to do it. But before we do that, a word from our sponsor. Man, that would have been good. We're going to crank the taxes to 11% for everybody. They're not going to love it, but I'm going to love it because I get more money, and that's what I'm looking for. So we'll get that done. It'll be good. It'll be fantastic. It's going to make it a little bit easier for me to build things because I'm going to have that extra bit of money. But something I'm curious about, actually, and this is something I don't know if I've necessarily, I don't want to say I've never done it before, but I think we just unlocked, didn't we unlock like farming specializations? We just, well, we don't have farming. I don't know. Did we get like the farming district or something? I really don't know. Regardless, I kind of want to go into a specialization pretty quickly because we have some fertile land here. And if I remember right, you can make pretty good money from industry specializations pretty early on. I don't know if I've seen a video about that somewhere. I don't know if I read that somewhere. I don't know if I said that once upon a time, but I'm pretty sure that industry specializations are a great way to make money. So I want to give that a shot. It's something I don't usually do. I think it's a little bit overdue given that we're staring down the barrel of the sequel to Cities Skylines. I think it's about time I try experimenting a little bit. And I realize I'm saying that as I continue to just build a grid. So, you know, sue me. All right. We're building the battery until I have the money to branch out and do things a little bit different. That's just the way things are. Got a little bit more growth there, which is fantastic. We'll go ahead and just sort of fill up this space. And that should be enough to push us into the realm of 1,200 people, which means I'm going to be able to get those better roads. I'm going to be able to get my farming specialization. We do have a bit of crime, actually, so I might want to go ahead and get a little bit of policing in here as well. 12,000 for this guy, 480 per week. We can afford that. And I think, honestly, wait, would this one be better? I could just put it next to the fire station. I could put it across the road from the fire station. I don't hate the idea of doing that. Let's just do that. Let's have like, it's like the Four Corners in Glasgow, except it's literally the opposite because it's the emergency services rather than like fast food, fast food, fast food, and fast food. If you don't know what that is, by the way, it's one of my favorite places in the UK. There used to be a hotel. So in the middle of Glasgow, you have Glasgow Central Station. This is Glasgow, Scotland, by the way, not Glasgow anywhere else. You've got Glasgow Central Station. It's a train station. And on one side of it, you've got a hotel, or there used to be a hotel. It was a Radisson hotel. I think it's gone now. I always used to book that hotel when I would go to Glasgow. I loved it. Absolutely adore it. There is another hotel right at the end of the station. It's like Glasgow Central or something like that. It's like a really gothic looking building, and I'm looking forward to staying there one day. But regardless, on one side of the station, you have this Radisson hotel. And on my first trip to Glasgow, I was like, oh, have we done something? The game's kind of frozen. That's worrying. Hey, there it is. Good. We got our industry. We got our roads. We got our policies. I'm looking forward to using all of these. I'm going to be honest. I'm also thinking we're going to use a 4-lane one-way road down here on this one just to make things a little bit easier. Now, on my first trip to Glasgow, I was going around and I'm like, man, where can I get something to eat? Also, can you turn off traffic lights in Vanilla Cities Skylines now? Is that an option? I might be thinking of I might be thinking of Transport Fever 2. There's definitely a possibility. I don't think I can do anything with this. Wait, toggle traffic lights? Oh, I love it. Good. All right, there we go. You can do it. So they can just flow on through, which is great. Anyway, first time in Glasgow, I'm like, man, where can I get something to eat? So I walk out of the hotel and you walk underneath the train station. And from the hotel, you take a right, you go underneath the train station. There's a bunch of shops underneath it. And actually, that's where I got my first tattoo, was in a tattoo place under the train station, which sounds really sketchy. It was a little semicolon on my right wrist. It's a mental health thing. Anyway, you walk underneath it and I'm like, man, where am I going to get something to eat? And on one corner, I see like, I can't remember what it was. It was like a McDonald's. And then across the street from McDonald's is Tim Hortons. And across the other street from Tim Hortons is KFC. And next to KFC is Taco Bell. And it's like, oh my, like this was when my, this was when my diet and my fitness plans just went to hell. It was rough, man. I'm usually a big fan. Like I will unashamedly order food to a hotel. I'll be the guy in the lobby in my pajamas, like I did this in a really upper class hotel in Sweden, actually. It was a really nice place, and I'm stood there in like sweatpants and a dirty t-shirt, waiting to grab the biggest, nastiest burger you've ever seen from some dude in the lobby. It was great. This was a time when I didn't do that, because there were like 4 fast food places that I loved just down the street. Anyway, sorry, I got really sidetracked there. I want to go back to Scotland at some point. I love Glasgow. I really, really do. Anyway. Oh man, I feel like this feels like such a return to how I play Cities Skylines. It's like 10 minutes of gameplay and then 20 minutes about like nothing related to the gameplay. And just by the way, if you don't know, I recently spent 3 weeks in the US. I have some stories that are going to come out in this series. Anyway, I do want to do this industry thing. I want to try and do some farming in here, but I also want to play around with the specializations and the policies and things like that. So even though this is all temporary, I did slightly mess that up. Even though this is all temporary, we're gonna go ahead and lay out some districts here. We are gonna be following the roads, of course, because as we know, as we've learned over the last 8.5 years, a neat district is in fact a happy district, and we are gonna be following these roads and snapping to it as we always do. So we'll get these painted in, just like so. We're going to take the district off of the main road because that might screw us over just a little bit. We've Garland Heights and Highland Square. And by the way, if at any point you have a suggestion for a district name, do feel free to leave it in the comments below. I'm not going to be naming these districts because we are going to be getting rid of them at some point. But just in case, it's always an option. It's always there. Always feel free. In fact, this one might end up staying. This might actually turn into like this might be our downtown area at some point. This one's going to go away. But I've just had the idea that I could punch an avenue through the middle of this, and that might be kind of cool. Having like a bunch of high-rise buildings up on this cliff with like touristy stuff down here could be really interesting. I'm getting way ahead of myself though. I'm getting so far ahead of myself. It's kind of wild. But what we'll do is I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this. Yes, it gets rid of some buildings, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm just going to punch this road right back to here. Just for now, just to kind of give myself the idea of what I want to do here. And I think this is actually going to be 2 separate districts instead of one big one. I think that'll make a little bit more sense. And it gives us a little bit more control, which is what I'm looking for. And I realize, you know something I would really like? This is something, well, I don't know actually. I was going to say I've got an idea for like a feature in Cities Skylines 2, but I don't know. I almost like the idea that any building attached to a road should be affected by the district on that road. Because if I go ahead and change like the theme of this district, these buildings will probably not change. Well, they wouldn't if they were on an avenue. I feel like buildings should be affected by the district that the road they're on is in, if that makes sense. But then you also have the problem of what if you want 2 different types of building on either side of a road. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's a non-issue. It's fine. So Umbra District, Garland Heights, Highland Square. Like I said, any name suggestions for districts, do let me know in the comments below, and we'll start going through in a couple of episodes time and figure out what we're going to be calling places. But for now, we have this going here. We have this going here. Let's go ahead and see what we're doing with this space down here, which honestly, I might need to get rid of this curve and just run a road straight through here. So let's quickly do that. I don't love the idea of doing this, but I'm gonna give it a shot, assuming this all lines up properly, which I really hope it does. Do you line up properly? You do. Okay. This is gonna need to go. So get rid of you, get rid of all of this. Let's go ahead and get rid of this this pipe right here. I am going to be keeping all of this. I really like the idea of running some kind of park through these ruins. I don't know why. I just love that idea. And what we'll do is just move a water tower, honestly, anywhere at this point. I think what I'll do actually is just run it to here, and we'll just put the water tower there. It doesn't get rid of anything. It is very close to the stuff that I want to keep, but oh wait, no, power is going to be a problem. How do I want to do that? I guess we just run it from sort of this spot to here and to there. And that should give power to the water tower, which it absolutely does. And so, yeah, this guy here, what is the distance between these two roads? That is exactly 20 units. That is exactly 20 units as well. So this actually lines up perfectly. This gives us more access to Garland Heights, which is good, although that wasn't necessarily my plan. What my plan was to, I guess, put some industry on it. Oh, I'm going to be putting farming industry relatively close to my city center. I guess it's early days though, right? Like there's a lot of farming industry or, well, fertile land on this map, right? Oh, but it's unmodded. I only have 9 tiles. Oh, I just remembered I don't have 81 tiles. Oh, oh no. Okay. Oh, that just hit me. Okay, that's actually going to be, that's going to be a problem. Okay, yeah, we're going to stick with some early farming industry. We're going to have to move it eventually, but man, that just, wow. Okay. That's just complicated things a little bit. Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay. I'm now slightly concerned, actually. What I'll do is I'm going to run this road down to here. So that gives us a nice connection around all of this. We can run the Garland Heights roads out like this. And if I put an Old Town policy on that district, traffic shouldn't be too bad. Right now, it's going to be going through it. But honestly, if we just expand it, we can deal with the fact that traffic's going through. We can set the Old Town policy on there and everything should be okay. Man, I was looking at all of this, like I was getting ideas. I've been looking at this map and thinking, oh, I'm going to build so many cool things. And it's just hit me that I haven't played vanilla in so long that I forgot I've only got so many tiles to play with. That's troubling. Okay. We need 4,200 people before I can do the Old Town policy, which is fair enough. I can deal with that. That's, you know, traffic's not going to be so bad so quickly that it's an issue. Well, it might be, but it hopefully won't be. Let's take these guys out of here. Let's go ahead and extend these pipes up to there and up to there. And I guess what we'll do is I'm going to surround this space in commercial the way I usually do. Put some commercial buildings on these avenues and then go ahead and put this in here. I'm going to keep these residential buildings on this avenue because it is a sort of lower tier. It's only a 4-lane avenue versus 6 in this case. But that should give us a little bit of growth. That'll give us a few more people, hopefully help us along the way to our next milestone. And at this point, I want to look at farming industry. I really do. I'm going to be a little bit lazy with it just for now. I'm not going to be super... I'm not really super inclined to go crazy with making this look like a farm right now because we don't have the money or the unlocks, and I'm not going to get a second tile yet. Well, I guess I could. I guess I could get this one and move the farming industry out a little bit. $3,100 isn't bad either, so we'll go ahead and grab that. And I guess what we'll do is maybe move the farming industry out into that space. So if I was to go here and do a little right angle like so, and then if I could connect these guys together, which it's not going to let me do. Can I do it with a single lane road? No. All right. What if I just bring you down there, get rid of those bits, do this. So that's now 135 degrees. So that's like a nice little kind of 45-degree turn into that space, which is kind of what I'm looking for. We'll continue this out for a little bit. And we'll continue a little bit further. We'll do another one of these guys. Take this out, connect those together, and... Oh, wait, no, I didn't need that. This is what I needed here. So that is sort of roughly in line with this guy. I wonder if I could... I line those up by chance? Is that going to let me do that? I don't want to have to go through all of this because, you know, the goal is kind of to keep as much of that stuff as I can. Which is tricky. I wonder, can I get like a little road in here? I can do this. That is going to get rid of some stuff. But the reason I want to do that is because what I can now do is build this section of road, right? So this road is now in line with this road, which is what I'm looking for. And so this goes away. This continues. Really? Oh, man. Okay, hold on. Let's take all of that out. Run you down to here. Get it in line and do that. So that's now nicely in line with this road. And this is where we're going to build our farming industry. A little bit nasty, maybe not quite as neat as I was hoping for, but I'm not super concerned about that. What I would, oh man, I don't know about this. I really don't. I was going to try and get a nice little curve on there, but I'm going to leave it. It is unmodded. I'm getting a little bit carried away. Let's just extend this avenue a little bit further to about there. And let's just see what we can do for farming industry. So in terms of roads on this guy, let's just, I don't know, let's just do a big square. That's probably fair enough. So we'll do something like this. We'll do something like, not quite that. Something like this should be fine as well. And this is just where our farming industry is going to go. It's really not going to be too crazy. We'll use a bit of a bigger brush on it just to really fill out the space. This is, as I mentioned, probably not going to be a permanent thing either. Most of what we're building today is going to be demolished at some stage. So we'll see. But for now, Sheffield District is what we'll go for. And we're looking for, that's a park area. That's an industry area. That's what we're looking for. Wait. Oh, I forgot it's a different brush. Never mind. I really am an idiot. I really haven't played City Skylines in a hot minute. That's worrying. That's really, really quite worrying. But there we go. We have Vermont Grounds, which is going to be for some farming industry. And so for farming industry, the main building needs an industry area. Didn't I just paint an industry area? Isn't that what I just did? Is that, what is this? I painted a park area. My God. Okay. All right. There we go. This time we got it right. Meadow Industrial Valley. And I wonder what the comments are going to suggest I rename my industrial district to. I wonder. There we go. I can't believe how out of practice I am. All right. So the farm main building is going to go on that corner, and it's now Meadow Ranch. So we unlocked a small grain silo, animal pasture, crop field, and fruit field, which is not bad. Do I need warehouses? I feel like I might need warehouses. We'll see. We're going to need pipes out here as well. Honestly, I'm probably going to do a wind turbine and a water tower out here just to keep this place relatively self-sufficient. I'm not really too inclined to go too crazy with, well, just about anything out here, really. So we'll do this, and a wind turbine is probably going to be fine. 7 megawatts of power should be all right. So let's go ahead and have a look and try and remind myself how this works. So a small crop field can be used to cultivate wheat, potato, corn, or cotton. All extractor variations produce farming raw materials. Crops. Extractor needs to be placed on fertile land inside industry area. So we unlocked silos. A simple grain silo used for storing farming industry raw materials. Crops. Storage building can be placed outside industry area. Okay, so right now we're just purely going for the mechanical need here. We're really not leaning into the idea of making this look good. So this will produce 4,800 units per week. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a couple of crop fields like this. This might be overkill. This very much might be overkill, but I'm gonna do a bunch of these just for now. And I'm kind of low on money, so we'll not go too much crazier than that. But that will give us a power connection, which is good. And then what we'll do is say this is going to be a greenhouse. That's going to be a greenhouse. This is going to be potatoes. This can be potatoes as well. And then these guys can all be, I'm going to say wheat for all of these. In fact, cotton kind of has a better texture to it. So we'll do cotton on all of these. In fact, maybe this one can be, I don't know, corn. What is this one? Potatoes? Yeah, we'll do corn for these guys. We'll just change it up a little bit. They all produce the same thing, but it just, you know, a little bit of color variation never hurt anybody. I'm also wondering, there is enough space between these guys for a road. So let's not go too crazy on that because we are about to spend ridiculous amounts of money. But what I will do is just put a little dirt road down here, a little dirt path down there, and a little dirt path down there, just to kind of fill in the space. So now this should all have power. This should all have water once it gets up and going. I guess what we can do is maybe look at the silos. How big are they? Ooh, the silo would actually fit really nicely in the middle here, but we don't have the money. So anyway, we'll let it run. We'll get power. We'll get water. This guy's going to stop complaining. And what I think oh, sewage. I forgot about sewage. Okay, maybe we are just going to have to run, I don't love this idea, but I think we are just going to go ahead and run some pipes and some power lines. I think that's going to have to be our option here. So connect those guys together. That'll be sewage and water. I guess power could be this guy. 6,000. I've got 11,000. So we'll just do this and that'll be fine. So sewage and water is fine. Power is self-sufficient. And I do want to go ahead and turn off some of the traffic lights here because I don't think we need them. And I'm also thinking I'm going to go ahead and replace this road with another one with a median so that traffic isn't cutting across. It's going to have to go around. And honestly, that's fair enough. That's kind of what I'm looking to do. So I don't know if this is going to make money. I really, for the life of me, don't remember. You are exporting. Okay. So it might make money. I've not looked at industries pretty much since the industries DLC came out. So we'll see how this goes. I'm definitely curious. We are seeing some complaints about healthcare as well. That's probably something to look into. But I think for now, what I'm going to do is go ahead and expand Umber District just a little bit because we do have demand for some more residential. We also have this, which is toggle zoning. I forgot that was a thing. I forgot they added this, and you can do zoning on one side of a road now. Man, City Skylines has come such a long way. That is wild. That is actually wild. I genuinely completely forgot about that. Okay, so that's the middle. Oh, how does this work? Wait. We are going to have a gap there. I think I need to do another 11 like this, and then we'll have a road sort of down through the middle. Yeah. So this is going to be a bit of a weirdly spaced space. In fact, this is probably just going to go away and get split into 2 districts, which is whatever. We'll just go ahead and do this and this. We'll go ahead and run another road through here and here. And these guys will probably connect together at some point. Like I said, this will be a downtown area at some stage. So I'm not really too worried about what we're doing here. We'll go ahead and expand this guy. And I suppose what we do now is pause. We'll put some commercial here. We'll fill up all of this with residential. We'll fill up all of this with residential as well. And that'll be fine. We'll fill up this space with commercial as well, just because I can. And I suppose we'll paint in some districts here, some actual districts rather than the industry ones or whatever ones I've been painting by accident. And then this is also going to be its own thing. So we'll get that painted in. That gives us Belmont Heights. That gives us Umber District. That gives us Highland Square, Garland Heights, and Meadow Ranch. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. We do need pipes, of course. Can't forget about those. And we're probably getting low on water. Yeah, we absolutely are. We're gonna want to do something about that. I really don't want to start running out of water. It's always kind of embarrassing when it happens. And it is something that I don't want to say a little notorious for forgetting about, but I do routinely forget about water in City Skylines. So what we'll do is run this to here, put another water tower there. We're a bit low on money, but we are hopefully going to see people move into Belmont Heights, and that should help us bring that money back up a little bit. I'm also curious to see if I look at my economy stats here. If we have a look at industry, we're getting $480 from our exports there. Well, suddenly it's a bit less, but yeah, we are seeing some money from the exports here, which is lovely. A little bit of bonus income is never a bad thing. And if I click on you, can I actually see info here? So acquisition 38 tons, own production is this, import is that, crops to output. So we can turn it into things, right? If we get factories, we can go ahead and turn it into flour and animal products, which then gets exported. And I suppose that is also going to be, I guess, another source of income. So that'll be good. We are almost at the point of producing enough stuff to level this up. We do need more workers to do that, though, which I think just means more farms. So let's... Is my game frozen again? Oh, no, we're a boomtown. All right. Ooh, airport areas and transportation. That gives us buses. That's actually kind of exciting. Post service. I've never really used the post service. I might genuinely try and do it for this series. I'm going to try and just use everything, I think. So everything that I don't usually use, I'm just going to try and use it because I don't usually use it. But what I think I'll do, just to jump ahead a little bit with this industry, is let's go ahead and do I want to do pastures? They are a little bit bigger. I might just do some orchards because I can. I mean, do these all produce about the same? What do you produce? 2,400 per week? Let's do some orchards. So we'll do a few of these guys. Just about there. We've got oranges, we've got pears. That seems fine by me. And then what I'll do is I just want to go ahead and run a dirt. There's so many roads in this game now. I mean, I know that there's so many roads in this, but it's still wild to me that there's so many roads in City Skylines. It's kind of nuts because I'm thinking back to when I first played this and how like just how rough it was comparatively. It is kind of wild. I love it. I really do, but it's wild to think about. We'll go ahead and get rid of that. These guys now have a way to turn around as well, which is good. So that should give us more production and more workers. It absolutely does. Production's almost going to get us to level 2 here, and it is now level 2. That gives us a flour mill, a bakery, barracks, cattle sheds, and barns, which is exactly what we're looking for. Which means, in theory, I can go in here, and if I go to flour mill, it gives us flour. It is a processing building, which requires crops to produce a special good flour. Flour mills grind crops into flour and package it for transportation. Processing building needs to be placed in the industry area. That gives us a cattle shed as well. Is the bakery a factory? It is. So the bakery will take meat and crops and flour. So how does this work exactly? It produces tasty go-nuts, donuts, and takes care of the curves of your citizens. The bakery requires animal products, crops, and flour special goods to produce its tasty pastries. I love that. Tasty pastry. Unique factories can be placed outside of an industrial area. So it's not actually all that expensive either. I want to do it. I want to go for it. I want to place a bakery. I absolutely want to place a bakery. Let's do... You know what? Let's do it. Let's place it right there. Let's just do it. So it doesn't have anything right now. I'm going to have to move it eventually, but I'm doing this. I'm going in on this. I'm going to make this work. So we're going to need animal products, right? Do I get animal products from a pasture? Yeah, I do. So, oh man, this is going to be really cool. Let's do this. How many of these can I get in here? I don't think they're, I don't think these are a good size. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think these are a good size at all. Yeah, they're actually spaced a little bit weirdly. I don't love that. Really don't. I don't. This is the one thing about City Skylines that really grinds my gears, is that the spacing on things is really frustrating. It's really, really frustrating, but it's fine. I say it's the one thing about City Skylines that grinds my gears. There's a few things. I love the game, but there's a few small things that just, they're a little frustrating. Anyway. So this guy takes crops and turns it into animal products, which is fine. But in theory, if I can go ahead and get myself the flour mill, which is $15,000, I can start turning my crops into flour, which can then all be combined at the bakery to start exporting things. That's going to be good. It's going to be really good. We're also kind of maxing this out, which is interesting. And I'm also thinking we need to go in here and get that road with a median. And just all of this is going to be turned into to roads with medians. The little dirt road in the middle does kind of invalidate the need for that, but it's still a little bit of traffic control, which is still sort of what I'm looking for. So we almost have $15,000. The bakery is a pretty good size, actually. I'm thinking it's going to go right here. And so now we're going to take crops, turn it into flour. Oh, that's going to be good. That's going to be really good. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this goes. I've got to be honest. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be a really nice source of income. If we look at economy again, we can see, you know, pretty good money from industry already. So this is, I don't know why I haven't done this before. Also, people are getting horribly sick because I'm focusing on building farms rather than healthcare. So we might want to do something about that. There's a definite chance we might want to do something about that. But before we do, I do want to just sort of look at traffic a little bit. I want to change these guys into, I want to get rid of the traffic lights, and I want to put stop signs there because I think that's going to be better. This road should probably keep the traffic lights. This road can get rid of them. I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea, but I'm going to do it anyway, and we're going to see what happens. Similar story here. No traffic lights, just stop signs. And it might just keep things moving a little bit quicker. That's kind of what we're looking for. And hopefully that's kind of the case. Not enough raw materials. Hopefully we can fix that. We might need some warehouses to store the raw materials. That might be part of the problem here, but we'll see. How much is a grain silo or whatever it's called? Yeah, small grain silo, stores crops. It's 6,000. That's kind of a lot, but I'm going to put one here. This has 12 freight trucks, and I want this thing to be... So let's read all about this. So depending on the storage mode, the warehouse will try to do one of the following things. If it's balanced, it will try to keep it half full and half empty. If it's full, it will aim to keep it full. I'm going to go for full because it's only one silo, and then the crops can be used here, which we are now doing. We're now making flour, which is great news. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see what happens. We're going to be slowing down the exports of crops, but we're going to be starting to produce baked goods, so that should be fantastic news. Anyway, we need to take a loan. We do. I don't like taking loans in City Skylines, but I'm taking a loan simply because we need healthcare, because people are kind of dying left and right, and it's a bit of a problem. We also need a graveyard or a cemetery. We could also probably do with elder care, because if I remember right, elder care is a small healthcare facility offering treatment targeted specifically at the elderly, which creates a health benefit. Elder care also extends the lifespan of the elderly within the building's radius. So we can potentially fight off death waves with elder care. So that's absolutely something I think we should be doing. So let's go ahead and put this guy, I'm going to say right here, and that'll be healthcare for just about everybody. And I think I'm going to get some elder care. I do. I think it'd be nice to get a little bit of elder care in here. I just want to see the radius on it, though. I think it has to be somewhere a bit more central. I mean, this is going to do nothing for death waves right now because this is just going to affect everybody in the district. But we'll do it anyway. It'll make them a bit happier, which is good news. And then I suppose we do need a cemetery, which would it be would it be wrong of me to put it here? I feel like I've made this joke before, and it's never not funny to me, but it's never not horrific. It is. I'm not putting a cemetery across the street from the elder care facility. I'm not doing it this time. I'm not. I am not doing it this time. I hate myself for that joke. Every time I've made it so many times. It's never appropriate. Let's put the cemetery there and that'll be fine. I don't know if it needs power. It does need power. I guess in terms of buildings, we'll do a little bit of commercial here. Hopefully that'll fill in and, you know, push power across the street. Does it need water? I think it does. So we'll run some pipes just out here as well. What we'll do is run them something like, I guess something like this should be just fine for the cemetery. And then we also have demand for more residential zoning. So very quickly, let's go ahead and just get another little strip of residential zoning here. And we'll do exactly the same thing here, which means this road needs to be extended ever so slightly. So connect you guys together, get rid of you, run a road straight through the middle there. We'll go ahead and fill pretty much all of this up with residential zoning. We'll go ahead and run the pipes out here the way we always do. And so that's probably going to push us into a bit of a good spot in terms of our population, which is exactly what we're looking for. We're also going to want to extend Belmont Heights to cover the entirety of this space so that it's, you know, all a part of the same district. So there we go. And this is honestly not bad. It's honestly not bad. We have we have $8,000 coming in right now. We have $8,000 in profit from industry right now. And a lot of that looks to just be the unique factories. My God, is industry good? All right. I'm suddenly I'm suddenly very excited about this. I'm really, really pleased that I went into industry as quickly as I did. I mean, the money just dropped off massively because my exports, I guess, fell apart, but not a bad start. That is not bad. That is not bad at all. It does seem like, wait, can I just crank up the production rate? Interesting. So if I can get more flour in here, we have the animal products, we have the crops. If I can get more flour, we are kind of sorted. Can I crank up production on you? So what do? You produce 4,160 units per week. You are producing 5,760 units per week. So I wonder if I bring you down to produce 4,000. Well, let's say like, let's just do 100%. So if production's 100%, in theory, you should end up with an excess of flour. In theory. I don't know if that's actually going to be the case, but regardless, we are making kind of wild amounts of money from our industries. So let's go ahead and get ourselves, I honestly don't know if I want a barn or what I want. I'm going to be really honest with you. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm going to do a couple of barns because I can. I'm going to do another animal pasture here because I can. This one's going to be, I guess, cows as well. And I'm going to do another little grain silo, not there. I want to rotate that around a little bit. In fact, the grain silos on the dirt road would probably make sense, but we'll just do some storage here to fill in the space. And we can do the same sort of down this road as well. And honestly, I think that's good. I think this is a really solid start for Vanillaville. We're making crazy amounts of money for really no time at all. We are moving towards being a busy town, which is not bad either. That gives us like tourism and things like that. When do we get our, when do we get high density? That's what I'm wondering here. When do we get high density buildings? So that's going to be 6,500 people. So we're not that far off. We are starting to see power problems though. I don't love that. I don't love that we're seeing power problems. We might need to upgrade our power sources here, but that's something we can do in time because that is going to do us for today. I promised myself when I sat down to record this episode that this was going to be a short first episode of a new series, and here we are, almost an hour long. Not every episode is going to be this long in this series. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's not going to be a series of hour-long episodes, but I guess welcome back to Cities Skylines, everybody. I'm really excited for this. I hope you are as well. I had a lot of fun building this so far. We do have some things we need to fix, of course. These power problems, for example, a major issue. We are now losing money, I think, because no one has power. But regardless, we'll deal with that in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure, as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Well, bye.